Season has been well underway on our freeways for a few weeks now. And now Minneapolis officials are announcing $225 million worth of their construction plans for the spring and summer. Mayor Jacob Fry says the work may also mean more stop-and-go traffic.
While you may be pissed off, there's important work that's taking place that quite literally holds our city together. This is water main repair. This is street reconstruction. This is resurfacing projects. These are projects that make sure that you can get from point A to point B. And these are projects to make sure that when you turn the faucet, there's actually water that comes out of it.
The city will be repaving 9 miles of streets, shoring up 2 bridges over the Midtown Greenway, and replacing about 800 lead water lines. Officials at the Renaissance Festival say they will open as scheduled in mid-August despite a fire last night that damaged several buildings.
It was around 6 last night while lightning storms were moving through the area when the fire was first called in. Because of a lack of water supply on the festival grounds in Shakopee, fire crews had a difficult time dousing the flames, which were finally put out around 8 o'clock last night. The Renaissance Festival has more than 300 booths on the grounds, and 6 of them were destroyed by the fire. There were no injuries. The Renaissance Festival operates for 6 weekends just before fall. Al Shock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
A St. Paul suburb is raising the price of tobacco products in hopes of deterring young people from even starting the habit.
As part of their updated commercial tobacco ordinance, St. Anthony Village is raising minimum prices for most tobacco products to $15. That cost is even higher for vapes.
It's really exciting that St. Anthony wanted to take that first step and be the first in setting that minimum price at $20.
Molly Schmidtke is with the Association for Non-Smokers Minnesota, which helped update the ordinance.
We do hear, yes, retailers and from industry around this potentially opposing. We know that best practice, especially around tobacco prevention, is having higher prices, is decreasing accessibility and availability for young people to even initiate.
And those purchasing tobacco products will also no longer be able to use coupons and price discounts. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
A clothing swap in Northeast Minneapolis this Earth Day weekend is working to keep textile waste out of Minnesota landfills. According to the State Pollution Control Agency, more than 17 million tons of clothes are thrown away each year in Minnesota. It's a number that Amber Hawkadahl, founder of the Zero Waste Goods Store Tear Market, aims to make a dent in.
We really take our responsibility to be good stewards of this earth and to help the community be as sustainable as possible very seriously. So we really love the chance to provide an opportunity for people to gather and do something like this.
She says visitors can bring up to 15 items to the swap and potentially walk away with a new wardrobe. Tomorrow's event is from noon to 4 and costs $5. And if you'd like to pitch in on a different Earth Day activity, 42 Minneapolis parks are holding volunteer cleanups tomorrow. No need to register. All of them run from 9:30 to noon. WCCO News Time is 3:06.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
This report is brought to you by DEA's National Prescription Drug Takeback Day. Learn more at DEATakeback.com. We've got a crash on 100 southbound right after the 494 ramp. This is blocking the right shoulder with a tow truck on scene. If you're headed this way, plan for 0 delay. Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, April 26th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts. I'm Tina Marie on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I use it. It works for me, and I am thrilled to be able to share the information with you. Jordana Green here, and yes, I'm talking about CBD.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Brought to you by Mini Leaf, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. Find them at minileaf.com. And here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The clouds will continue to clear out, leaving us with a clear sky tonight. That means we chill. 36 to start your day tomorrow, but a nice turnaround. Highs in the upper 50s with a mostly sunny sky. Most of Easter Sunday will be dry. You'll notice the clouds increasing, a high up near 60. Rain showers coming in late, mainly falling across southeastern Minnesota, the Twin Cities, and into western Wisconsin.
Mostly cloudy right now, 58 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Where else can you get the latest headlines?
And it's changing fast.
Rush Hour reports, the day's forecast, and rant about our hometown teams, all before finishing your first cup of coffee. News Talk 830 WCCO. Buckle up. Time for the ride home and the chance to get caught up on the day's news, plus whatever else he wants to riff on. This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Here's the star of the show and your host, Jason DeRusha.
Are you ready? All right.
Now live on your radio and streaming to the world at WCCOradio.com and the Odyssey app. Here's Jason DeRusha.
And welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. I'm just a mess in here. Doing? Don't have my headphones in. I've got Cook. What is going on? You're supposed to be in charge of this deal, telling me to get my act together, right?
Hey, Jason, get your act together.
Thanks, Dan. I'm ready now. Welcome to Drive Time. I don't know. It's good to be with you. It's Friday. It feels like a Friday around here. It feels like everybody in the world has the day off. I'll tell you that much. Traffic in Maple. This is how you know it's a Friday. When traffic at the Maple Grove Costco feels like the traffic between Minneapolis and St. Paul on Interstate 94. When the line to get to the gas pump is as long as the line is to get on the highway over there right now with all the construction, then you know it's Friday. Maybe we're in the summer. I mean, it feels early, doesn't it? April for summer Fridays, but I think with people working remotely, maybe summer Fridays is a year-long thing. Sunday is Easter, and Sunday is also April 20th. And for the pothead stoner crowd, 420 has become a bit of a holiday in its own right. I don't love the 420 kind of wink, wink, yuck, yuck kind of stuff for an industry that has seen incredible growth in THC seltzers, gummies, legalization, normalization. I do think the sort of, hey, dude, that whole vibe is not really productive for that. But so much has changed in a relatively short period of time when it comes to acceptance of cannabis that I wanted to ask you guys today in advance of this sort of unofficial pothead holiday. Has your attitude towards cannabis, towards marijuana, towards THC, has it changed since it became legalized in a recreational way in Minnesota? 651-461-9226. Sort of simple question. Are you in or out on pot? I am out, personally. But my attitude has changed. I grew up, I'm 50. I grew up right in the heart of the just say no generation. I am a square. I am. I've never smoked pot. I've never smoked anything. Once in my life, I consumed a THC gummy. A friend invited me to his wine cellar, and he's like, Jason, do you want a gummy? And I said, okay. Because I am easily influenced. Parents, talk to your kids about peer pressure because I am very peer pressurable. Now, I thought that it was a CBD gummy. It turned out it was a 10 milligram THC gummy. And within about 10 minutes, it was time for Jason to go home. I thought I was going to die. Now, you can tell me like, well, maybe you should try something different or you would have a different reaction. To me, like, I'm good. That was unpleasant. I'm good. I will say this. 5 years ago, when friends would tell me that they smoked, I sort of judged a little bit. And today, I don't know if it's just the fact that it's now legal or the fact that I know so many people that use cannabis sort of like I use alcohol. where it is, I suppose the difference is that I think most people who use cannabis are intentionally trying to get the buzz from it, intentionally trying to have some sort of altering of their being take place. Whereas I use alcohol as a food, really. And I use it a little bit for the sort of social experience, and maybe that is also true for cannabis users. I don't know. I tell you, I still, when I drive by another car or walk by, the other day I was walking downtown Minneapolis and you have that whiff, I'm out on the stink. The gummy situation is different, right? But the stink for me is still like a big, I don't know, maybe some of you think it smells good. To me, I'm a no. Let's go to Paul in Brooklyn Center. It's 651-461-9226. You in or you out on cannabis, Paul?
Well, I'm in now.
Yeah.
You know, I was brought up in the 60s and 70s, so I wasn't back then.
Right.
But my doctor prescribed cannabis, so I got a medical card to take a little bit at night so I don't have to take sleeping pills, and it puts me to sleep.
Oh, it works for you?
Oh, yes. And I don't smoke any other time during the day.
Oh, interesting.
Just a little bit at night.
How life-changing has that been for you, Paul?
Well, it's been pretty good because they had me on something called trazodone. I was having to take 4 and 5 pills to even go to sleep. I've got a lot of medical things.
Sure.
You know, and I think this just a couple of hits, and I'm good.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, I might eat a bunch of Oreos before I go to sleep. I'm good.
Yeah, you've gained 200 pounds, but you're sleeping better.
I have. And I do need to gain weight, so it's working both ways.
Oh, good. Good. Paul, I'm glad that it helps
All
you
right.
sleep. I think that's really good. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Phil, you're next up. 651-461-9226. In or out on cannabis?
Oh, I'm in. You could consider me as probably an older stoner. I've been smoking for 46 years.
Yeah. Have you noticed the change in maybe other people's level of acceptance towards you, or has? Yeah.
Well, I'm a lovable guy, so I got that going for me. But but yeah, I noticed a change where it's more accepting. But you know, and this whole thing, the 420 yuck, that's just silly.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, they're trying to make it a reputable business. You know, you don't need that yuck situation going on. It's just kind of for the people that are against cannabis. That's this stepping stone right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Like the idea, I don't know, like I sort of bristle, like Cheech and Chong have like their line of gummies or whatever. And you're like, well, of course they do. But like, I'll tell you this. So, like, because I write about food and drink, sometimes I get companies that come to me and they're like, hey, would you, we'll pay you whatever. And would you do a post? And Cheech and Chong, whatever their gummies, reached out to me last week. And I'm like, I don't know that Cheech and Chong is right for me. You know what I'm saying?
It's just, I'm considering, you had your bad experience eating an edible, and I don't really like edibles myself too. But I mean, you're the wrong person to be promoting it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, I do think I do think about this though, where it's like, I used to be opposed to it. Now I'm like, man, like the fact that people are having great results, that adults are able to make a choice. I have zero problem with it, right? I think like the move toward, I would have preferred decriminalizing it rather than legalizing it, but I'm not mad about the legalization of it. And I think the fact that you're going to have an industry around it and have adults that are able to make their own choices. I don't know. This is America. Like I'm all for that, Phil.
Hey, Jason, you know what the difference between a drunk driver and a stone driver is?
What's that?
A drunk driver will run a stop sign. A stone driver will sit there and wait for it to change green.
Phil, very good. Thank you. There goes Phil. Lots of text coming in at 651-461-9226. I'll share some of your thoughts Phil's joking. Don't text in and give me this like stone driving is we know stone driving is very, very potentially dangerous too. Keep the calls and texts coming. Has your attitude changed? Mine has, but I'm still out when it comes to cannabis. 651-461-9226. Drive time continues on a Friday.
Drive Time with DeRusha is hitting the off-ramp for a quick stop on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's Jason here from my buddy Chris Lindahl. Chris Lindahl posted a thing on his Instagram today that his personality quirk, besides like the fact that he walks around with his arms wide out at all times, that his quirk is drinking water. Like he just drinks water. He doesn't drink caffeine, which is true. Chris and I went to Diane's place in Northeast Minneapolis for breakfast, and he was drinking water. I was drinking coffee. No caffeine, no booze. He's a water guy. The other thing he is a brilliant marketer. I love talking to Chris because he is an inspiring guy. He's a thoughtful guy, always got new ideas. And his greatest idea, perhaps, has been the guaranteed cash offer. Right now, the interest rate environment and the home selling environment is very uncertain. It really is. We don't know what rates are going to be. If you have a house that you need to sell, you don't know how long is it going to take, what sort of improvements do you need to make, how will you compete with other things in the market. Let Chris deal with all the stress. Go to chrislindahl.com. You get a guaranteed cash offer. They make the offer. You pick the closing date. You pick the moving date. You're in control of the whole process. So at least find out. You can sell fast, get the cash, and have no stress. chrislindahl.com. You can do it over the phone too. 763-401-SOLD. Terms and conditions may apply.
When it's time to sell a collection of gold, silver, valuable coins, or jewelry, who do you trust? American Rare Coin and Collectibles in Bloomington specializes in evaluating and purchasing valuable collections quickly, clearly, and with immediate payment. For over 30 years, families, trustees, and professionals have relied on American Rare Coin for transparent pricing and straightforward service. Located on American Boulevard, we make complex decisions simple and valuable assets easy to liquidate. Schedule your appointment today at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com.
Millimarine, we sell more, that's why we're selling for less.
It's the Factory Scratch and Dent Truckload Sale, exclusively at Miller Marine. For a limited time, get fishing boats starting at just $19,999 plus applicable fees, with payments starting under $200 a month, like a 2025 side console smoker craft with 60 horsepower Yamaha and trailer with swing tongue. Or hop into a brand new pontoon starting at just $26,990 plus applicable fees, with payments starting under $225 a month. We're passing huge factory savings directly to you, up to $50,000 off select models. Shop over 100 boats inside the largest showroom in Minnesota. Miller Marine is the world's largest Bennington dealer, now selling premier pontoons and skier boats backed by our award-winning service team, the top-ranked Yamaha dealer in the nation. We buy more, so we sell for less. Only at Miller Marine.
Miller Marine, Miller Marine, Miller Marine, we sell more, that's why we sell for less at Miller Marine.
If you love horses, treat yourself to the Minnesota Horse Expo at Canterbury Park, Friday, April 25th through Sunday, April 27th. Enjoy horse breeds on parade, see riding and training demos, shop hundreds of vendors, visit the carriage and sleigh display, and watch exotic horses and world-class acrobatics with an additional ticket to the Cirque Maceo show. All at the Minnesota Horse Expo at Canterbury Park, April 25th through the 27th. For tickets and schedule, visit mnhorseexpo.org.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
He does an incredible job, and he's not only a great announcer, but an even better person. So.
Wow.
DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Lots of texts coming in at 651-461-9226. You know, this weekend is the 420. There are events all weekend, especially breweries. Honestly, local breweries. The ability to sell seltzers with THC has been a lifesaver as people have been drinking smaller amounts of craft beer. The THC thing has absolutely saved a lot of our local breweries. Liquor stores are reporting huge sales of those seltzers. And there has been a shift. I think there has been a shift in acceptance, the legalization of marijuana. I'm not sure which came first. First, you know, did the public change and that led to legalization? Or as the fact that states like Minnesota started with medical marijuana, and you're like, well, sure, medical. Like, yes, if you can feel better, if you can not use a pharmaceutical, if you can use a natural product and have relief, my God, like for sure, do it. And then the recreational side of it, we don't have dispensaries yet. It's been a slow roll in this state, very slow. But I think attitudes have changed. My attitude has changed. Texters. I don't smoke pot, but I agree that my feelings towards marijuana have changed. I don't think it needs to be criminalized, but I do not appreciate that it feels like it's everywhere now. Anywhere I go, I smell pot. You know, the first couple of, first of all, like, it was everywhere before it was legal. I think. I do smell it a lot more now. Dan, do you smell it more when you're out and about? Because I definitely feel like and it's one of those things where you're like, I don't know if I'm more aware of it, and so I'm smelling it more, but I feel like as you drive around, if your windows are open, you smell it. If you're walking around, do you smell it more?
Honestly, now, and I have to preface this by saying, I'm not an out and about person.
Yeah.
But I haven't noticed it a ton more. I
Yeah.
mean, once in a while, maybe in the apartment building or here or there, do you catch a whiff? Sure. But nothing that to me seems excessive or something that's going to be a burden for people to deal with.
I have chronic pain, says a texter. I've relied on opioids for years. I've been able to wean off all narcotics with the help of CBD THC gummies for pain and sleep. That's pretty cool. Jason, tell me more about that THC gummy. I'm 52 and also a square, and I'm so curious. So I'm no expert, but 1 milligram of THC is probably the appropriate dosage to start at. And then try a little more. I've tried seltzers. It is, for me personally, it's sort of an interesting thing, right? Like as a food critic and a drink critic, I can give you advice on flavors that maybe are not my favorite. So like beer is the perfect example. I don't love the super hoppy IPAs, but I can judge if it's done well. I can judge if it's technically good, if it's delicious to someone who would like that. I prefer, like, I like pills. I like clean as I've gotten older. I like ales. So that's just as an example. Then should I explore like some of these THC or CBD things? Because even if it's not my thing, like I could be a voice to give people advice on it. So I go back and forth on it. To me, I feel like there are only so many vices that I personally can handle. And so something would have to go. So do I want to drink less wine and drink more of this? I think maybe some people substitute. I don't know. To me, like I have no room for additive. I'm good. So that's sort of how I decide.
Sounds like the conversations I have with my doctor whenever he mentions the fact that I enjoy an occasional cigar. It's like, if it's just occasional, why bother? Why would you, I'm like, Doc, I don't drink.
Right.
I don't do any drugs.
Yes.
This is only my only, can I just have a cigar once in a while? Is that okay? Can I just do that?
Texter says, I was a cannabis user for 10 years. It should be decriminalized. However, I'm very nervous about the usage when people are driving. As you said, it could be very dangerous. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing we're going to have to figure out as a state is how do you deal with that?
And lots of other states have gone down this road before us. There should be better roadmaps as to how you can enforce.
I think detection is the biggest thing.
It's hard to detect.
Even enforcement. Well, or it's hard to detect at what point with what person they're being impacted by it enough that they shouldn't be driving.
Yeah, and we don't seem to care about that in alcohol, right? Like 0.08, honestly, there's science behind 0.08, but 0.08 is more of a political choice than a scientific choice as to what that level is, because 0.08, different people that 0.08 may show up in different ways. We have to draw a line. It used to be 0.1, right? And then the federal government said, we're going to not give you highway funds unless you go to 0.08. Sounds sort of familiar to how the current administration
Where else have I seen that?
We're not going to give you any money. I think there's no question that public acceptance has changed. We did see in Minneapolis, the park board trying to figure out, all right, like we don't allow cigarette smoking in our parks. We can't really allow pot smoking. It is not lost on me that at the same time that cigarette smoking appears to be about one of the most evil things that you can do based on public reaction, that we are legalizing a different kind of smoking. I understand that it's all day. I know, but it's still out into our environment. Gummies, brownies, seltzers, doesn't affect me. You want to do it? $4.20 it up. I'll be celebrating Easter, the rising of Jesus Christ, while you're out there smoking it up. Good for you. We are going to debut a new yeah. How do you top that, people? We're going to debut.
Watch. We're going to show you
a new segment in just a minute that we need your help in. It's sort of a Gong show inspired segment where Dan Cook will geek out about something. He will get 3 minutes and you will vote Gong it or green light it. We gonging it or we green lighting it, where you want to hear more about this topic. Are you in? Are you out? So we'll have you text in your reactions at 651-461-9226. Dan Geeks Out next.
More Drive Time with DeRusha is on the way following these messages on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason here from my friends at Tureen Dermatology. I believe so much in Tureen that I have sent my entire family there. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law have gone to Dr. Mohiba Tureen, and my father-in-law was just there last week. Now, my father-in-law has a huge history, just like my father does, of skin cancer. And it sucks, right? But you want to go to a doctor you can trust, and the team at Tureen Dermatology will absolutely take care of you. I go every year for a full-body skin checkup because genetics is a key indicator of skin cancer, of melanoma. The other thing, and so many of you that are my age, fellow Gen Xers, where maybe we spent a little too much time in the sun when we were younger, or a little bit of fake baking back in the day, get that full-body skin checkup because you want to catch any evidence of skin cancer before it goes too far. Tureen Dermatology has a lot to celebrate right now because they have just opened 2 new locations, 9 locations. Now they're in Lakeville. They're in Lindstrom. I go to Roseville. They're in Monticello, they're in Hudson and Eagan. Check out their locations at Tareen, Tareen, dermatology.com. You can make an appointment while you're there, and Tareen Dermatology guarantees they'll get WCCO radio listeners in within 3 weeks. Don't wait. Go see Tareen Dermatology today.
One Saturday, while fumbling with a broken faucet and a dying ficus, Glenn turned on 830 WCCO. And then the surge of knowledge hit instantly. He became the fixer.
No, that there's a carburetor issue. These hydrangeas need pruning. I can get a better rate. Let's refinance. I should pair a bold red with this brisket. I can fix our gutters and my credit score.
Become your own weekend warrior. Learn a little bit of everything on How To Saturdays with News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm John Taft, Vice Chairman of Baird. For over 100 years, Baird's people and expertise have made a difference in the financial advice and services we provide. Our experts on 3 continents combine diverse backgrounds and perspectives to meet your needs. Being nationally recognized as a great place to work helps Baird attract the best people in our industry to advise you. Experience a different kind of financial partnership. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
I've got the rake out. I'm cleaning out my closets, and I'm looking at all of my old windows. It's Jason DeRusha for Window Nation. April is such a good time to spruce up around your house. Let's get rid of the old, drafty, ugly, hard-to-open windows and start fresh. Window Nation has an unbelievable deal right now. Buy 4, get 4 free. No limit to how much you could save it if you buy a house full of windows. They're including a free entry door as well. 0% financing, 0 down, no monthly payments. You're getting new windows today and paying Zippo until 2027. So how do they do it? Window Nation partners with the top window manufacturers in the nation. They're building windows to their high-quality specs, and Window Nation passes the savings on to you. You're protecting your home with some of the best windows you can buy at a fraction of the price of those other brands. This sale does end soon, so don't miss your chance to take advantage. The buy 4, get 4 free. Schedule your free estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or get to windownation.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad. Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you, you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Some people follow the rules, but where's the fun in that? I'm Saraya, and this is Rule Breakers, the podcast where we celebrate the rebels, the risk takers, and the ones who make their own way. Every week, I sit down with the boldest voices in sports, entertainment, and beyond to talk about breaking barriers, defying expectations, and rewriting the rules. No limits, no apologies, just real talk. Follow and listen to Rule Breakers with Saraya, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Well, our roads are busy as far as accidents go. Watch out for one on 94 westbound between 12th Street and 35E. We've got another crash 100 southbound between 394 and Cedar Lake Road, so expect some minor delays. And I've got major delays on 35 northbound between 185th Street and Kenwood Trail. This, of course, is due to a crash. I'm Tina Marie on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, it's Adam Carter for Dodge of Burnsville, the king of Ram. Right now, during Ram Truck Month, get employee pricing on 2024 and 2025 Dodge and Ram trucks. Find your next vehicle out here at Dodge of Burnsville or shop online at kingofram.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Weather brought to you by Dodge of Burnsville. You can find them at kingaram.com. Here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We're in for a chilly night tonight because the clouds will continue to clear out. So we start our Saturday around 36, warming up to 57 tomorrow with a mostly sunny sky. A very nice looking day. Easter Sunday looks nice as well. Dry for much of the day. The clouds will be increasing. The temperatures increasing up to around 60. Rain showers will be moving in late, and that will linger into the early part of Monday.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it is partly cloudy out there, 52 degrees on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO. Start the clock. Dan Cook now has 3 minutes to geek out on something. And you get to text in with a vote on whether it's halfway interesting or if the topic should never again be brought up in public again.
Nerd alert!
Let's set things up for this edition of Dan Geeks Out.
651-461-9226. We need your input on whether we're giving Dan the gong or Dan gets the green light. Do you love it or do you hate it? Do you want to hear more about this topic or do you want Dan to shut up? Real time, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or X, you can leave your comments in the thread and we'll count your votes as well. 3 minutes for Dan. I need your votes. Otherwise, oh, by the way, I get 5 votes.
Yeah, that's the other rule.
So you got to
arbitrarily invented.
I have 5 votes.
Yes, you do.
So if I'm bored, and odds are good that I will be bored.
Why would you say that? Why would you try to influence the jury before we've even uttered a word? I
want you
of this?
guys to know where I'm coming
Come
from.
on, man.
651-461-9226. Dan Cook, your 3 minutes to geek out starts now.
So, Jason, this story has been all over the news this week, but we may have finally found evidence of life on another planet outside of our solar system. And what's cool to me about this is not just that discovery, which is monumental on its own, because for all of our theorizing and for all of our conspiracy theorying and all of our UFO talk, there has been zero hard evidence of life anywhere other than this particular planet.
Okay.
So the fact that we may have found one on this planet that's about 124 light years away, which is an enormous distance, in our thought, in our way of measuring things, but cosmically is actually relatively close. This is in the Milky Way galaxy. Not only is it so cool that we may have done this, but how they did it is incredible. This is a planet that cannot be seen from the Earth with any telescope, but big telescopes that we have flying around in space can look at this star that it's orbiting. And every time this star dims a little bit, that's the planet going in front of that star. And because they know what the light looks like coming from the star itself, when the planet moves in front of it, they can measure changes in the wavelength of the light that goes through that planet's atmosphere. And those wavelength differences tell them what kind of chemicals are in that atmosphere. Now, in this particular case, the chemical that's causing all the ruckus is called dimethyl sulfide. And here on Earth, the only way dimethyl sulfide gets produced is by phytoplankton in our oceans, by life, by bacteria, by plants. It's the only way that chemical gets produced. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only way it ever could be produced, and that's what scientists are working on now. But it very well could be.
We're halfway there. Halfway there. 651-461-9226. Gong or green light. The votes are coming in.
This is so cool. It's 124 light years away. To give you an idea of this distance, by the way, Neptune, the furthest planet in our solar system, is about 4 light hours away. This is 124 light years away. All of the radio and TV waves that we've been shooting out into space for the entirety of the time that we've had radio and TV waves haven't even reached this planet yet. That's how far away this thing is. And yet, cosmically speaking, it's relatively close. It's in our neighborhood. And this might be, the planet's about 2.5 times the size of Earth. This might be the biggest ocean world filled with phytoplankton and other bacteria and stuff that's life that we've ever seen before. And it's an incredible moment for humanity. It's so cool how they figured this out. And it's absolutely 100% worth geeking out about. There's my 3 minutes.
Dan, the votes are coming in fast and furiously. 651-461-9226.
I just hope that they weren't influenced unduly by your introduction to this segment, which I found wholly prejudicial and completely out of line.
Astronomical green light, says one.
There you go. I like it.
Intergalactic gong, says another. I'm going to count up the gongs.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
It's a very scientific process.
4.
He has to actually take off
5.
his shoes.
I have 6 gongs.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 green lights.
There we go.
13 green lights.
The people are with me, Jason.
No,
wait, no, you haven't voted yet, but if it's only 6 gongs, your 5 votes can't surpass 13 green lights. I still win.
Oh, the gongs are starting to come in,
No,
though.
no, don't do that. No.
Gong. 3 gongs. Oh, my goodness.
It's a shame we closed voting right before
4
those gongs came in. No.
Wait, no, that's all the same person.
Yeah,
4
see, no, that doesn't count.
4
Stop cheating.
Going, gong.
Oh, come on. Come on.
One person texted gong 8 times.
That does not count. That does not count. I appreciate the effort. That does not count. Where are your 5 votes landing, Jason? Come on.
I'm a gong for sure.
Come on, you're kidding.
But the green lights have it. The green lights have outvoted me. So Dan, you get another.
You're completely uninterested in there being life on another planet.
Well, my 6th grade thesis, which yes, in 6th grade I was assigned to do a thesis because my 6th grade teacher was so annoyed at my lack of interest in his regular lessons that me and Eileen Erickson were assigned to research whether or not there was life on other planets. Conclusion from us, there was. So what I'm saying is you are presenting to me 6th grade material. So that's just where I'm at on it.
Did you go through the whole
what was
light spectrum analysis to figure out if there's life on another planet?
I mean, I should.
Or is that maybe beyond 6th grade material?
That is maybe.
You think?
You get this texter. Any chance you can have Dan talk about this during a commercial break?
Now, see, that's why would you? It's actually very clever.
You get.
By the way, Dave Harrigan just texted me. Said that was tremendous. You are my favorite nerd. So that counts. That counts. He's in.
Rod says he was there about 4 months ago on that planet.
How many gummies did you have to get there, Rod?
Dan, you get 1 more minute if you want to expand on this. Because you have received the vote.
We're so desperate as a species to figure out if we're alone in this enormous cosmos. And it seems absurdly unlikely that we are alone, just given the amount of stuff that's out there. And yet, in all the time we've been searching and looking and trying to find this stuff, we haven't found anything else that indicates right now that there's life outside of our planet. Now, I think we're going to find out in the not terribly distant future that maybe some of the moons further out in our solar system might contain some single cell or bacteria style life.
Right.
I think that's very possible, but we still haven't yet. So the fact that we're inching ever closer to finding out that life exists outside of this one little nondescript ball floating around in space is a monumental thing. And it emphasizes again how precious to me all life is. All of us are. And all the little things that divide us, all the little things that we get angry with each other about, when you pull back from this cosmic scale and realize how rare we are, to me, that makes us all very, very precious and worth fighting for and worth preserving. And so to me, it's a big time human thing.
Sometimes to me, this pursuit for answers and this discussion feels ridiculous, because whether there is or isn't, to me, doesn't change my life and how I'm going to exist on this earth in any way. I do think it is remarkable that in this massive cosmos that we appear to be the only ones with like people walking around talking. That to me is amazing, but I guess I don't really care.
How does this scientific discovery affect me, Jason DeRusha?
That's right.
That kind of comes down.
All right.
This is, to me, this is about us, not any individual.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm curious about it. I guess if we find,
and the fact that we figured out scientifically different wavelengths of light somehow indicate different chemicals. The fact that they're able to do that science to me is just insane and incredible. And I love it.
I would rather hear Susie Jones read jokes off Laffy Taffy wrappers. Another texter says this is potentially the most important discovery in the entire history of mankind.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's why we play Gong or Green Light. What we have done is taken potentially the most important discovery in the entire history of mankind and reduced it to a Gong Show game.
That's just how we roll right here on the Big 830.
Yeah. Send the segment in for the Peabody. We're ready. Back in just a minute with Adventures in Lyft. The question I was asked today in a rideshare, how would you answer this question? We'll do it next.
Jason DeRusha and Drive Time needs to make a brief pit stop on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, the sun has been out. We got the rain we needed yesterday, at least a good start. This is the beginning of lawn season. It's Jason here for Professional Turf. I was talking to a friend last night at 50th and France about the rain, and she said, well, I bet your lawn is happy. I have a reputation as somebody who really cares about my lawn, and that's why I use the team at ProTurf to take care of it. Last year, ProTurf came out. They did an in-person estimate at my house. They didn't use a Google map. They didn't just say, we're going to put down whatever crap we put on everybody else's yard. They come to your property, look at your lawn, and design solutions for your needs. They will speak to you about your goals. They'll make it happen for you. You can go to professionalturf.com, by the way, if you want to reach out to them right now. They see that condition of your lawn. Already they put down an anti-crabgrass treatment for me. They're out all over Minnesota giving estimates right now. They have been doing this for more than 30 years. They got lawn techs with up to 26 years of service for them. And the same tech does your lawn year after year. They are the best. They take care of me. I want them to take care of you. 952-469-8680. That is professionalturf.com.
Construction problems come with challenges, but legal issues shouldn't be one of them. At Helmuth & Johnson, we focus on construction law, protecting contractors, developers, and business owners from costly disputes. From contract negotiations to litigation and compliance, we make sure your projects stay on track and your interests stay protected. Whether it's a delay, a dispute, or a deal, we've got you covered. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
By the Yard is celebrating 30 years of building maintenance-free outdoor furniture you can count on. During their anniversary sale, now through April 19th, you'll save even more at a time when prices everywhere else are going up. Everything is built to order in Minnesota, backed by a 35-year warranty, and made to last. Visit Woodbury, Maple Grove, or Jordan, or shop online at buytheyard.net. With By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats? Or the joy of early bedtime? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Watch for a crash on 100 northbound between Minnetonka Boulevard and Cedar Lake Road. This is blocking the right shoulder and adding onto the already slow traffic that's moving through that zone. We've got another crash, 694 eastbound between 69th Avenue and exit 225. This is causing about a 5-minute delay. And watch for construction on 55 eastbound between 35W and East Franklin Avenue, where your roadway is reduced to 1 lane. I'm Tina Marie on News Talk 830 WCCO.
At Newgate School, we've turned donated cars into success stories. For 49 years, we've helped underserved young adults in the Twin Cities learn automotive repair skills with zero tuition. Your vehicle donation can teach, fund, and also provide reliable transportation for single moms. Learn more at newgateschool.org.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Weather brought to you by Newgate School, changing lives for over 45 years. Tonight we get down to 36. Tomorrow mostly sunny, 57, a perfectly average day. Sunday for Easter, increasing clouds, rain possible late, but your egg hunts should be just fine. High of 60. Right now it's 52 on CCO.
Jason DeRusha
He is a national treasure. Like, we need that guy in our life.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Can we stop to get gas? The question my Lyft driver asked me about 30 seconds after picking me up. So I took a Lyft downtown to work today because Alyssa and I are going to Treasure Island Resort and Casino tonight. Little dinner, a little overnight, a water park. Why not? Hey. Can I stop to get gas? It feels like a question that you can only say one thing to, right? Because if you need gas, I don't want you to run out on Interstate 94 on my way downtown. So I said, sure. Yeah, we can get gas. She's like, are you in a hurry? Which again is like, she's like, what time do you have to get to work? And I said, well, I don't exactly punch in. She's like, oh, so you're the boss. I'm like, yes, I am the boss, actually. Thank you. Finally, somebody who recognizes me as the boss. We can certainly go for gas. We can go wherever you want when you're talking like that.
I'm instantly disliking this person.
So she takes me to the Maple Grove Costco to get gas. Friday at 12:30, before Easter weekend. I didn't agree to that. And so we're trying to get it, just getting into the whole shopping center was an ordeal. Like the left turn lane to turn into Costco was all backed up. And I said, I'm like, this isn't looking good. She's like, oh, well, we're just going to work around the traffic. So she turns right, like towards the Dave & Buster's, makes a left turn through like the furniture store parking lot, then like is weaving her way through another parking lot, dodging cars as they're coming at us, then gets over into the Costco. And she's like, you know, I always get nervous in the Costco parking lot because my sister was driving here and got hit by someone not paying attention. I'm like, none of this is helpful. And that she's like, if it's crowded, we'll just go to work. I'm like, oh, well, at this point,
Costco
it's taken 10 minutes to get to where we were going. And then
how is she defining crowded too? Might be something worth knowing.
It was people, cars from the gas pump all the way to the back of the lot. So she pulls all the way to the left of the lot where there is a gasoline tanker filling up, you know, the gas for the pumps. She wedges in around the tanker. I like, this is unbelievable. I don't know if I'm going to make it to work. We made it. You sort of have to say yes. I don't know. I should have walked to work today. It was harrowing. It was a harrowing experience. Car DeSharks, we're going to play that. Hopefully you have better luck than I did with rideshare driving today. That's coming up after the news.
If you need to sell your home, know that even if you can't time the market out perfectly, your home can still sell for the most money possible. Hey, it's Vanita. That is, if you hire my friend, the Good Neighbor agent, John Schuster, and his team with the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. Wendy and Brian were living in the western suburbs. They didn't have much time to wait for their home to sell. A lot of stress involved. They'd heard about John here on CCO Radio. They decided to give him a call. It was the right decision. John taught them his blueprint for success, and they followed it. They picked the marketing plan they wanted and got $30,000 over the asking price. Contact John for full details. 952-222-9000. Online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Your traffic trackers and weather watchers. News Talk 830 WCCO, KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Senator Chris Van Hollen is back in the U.S. after traveling to El Salvador to meet with a man mistakenly deported there.
He said he felt very sad about being in a prison because he had not committed any crimes.
Van Hollen said he was initially blocked by police from traveling to the notorious prison where Abrego Garcia was being held, but that meeting later happened, and Van Hollen learned Abrego Garcia had been moved to a different prison.
But he said despite the better conditions, he still has no access to any news from the outside world and no ability to communicate with anybody in the outside world. His conversation with me was the first communication he'd had with anybody outside a prison since he was abducted.
Earlier, President Trump was asked about Van Hollen's visit.
Yeah, look, he's a fake. I know him. I know them all. They're all fake. And they have no interest in that prisoner. That prisoner's record is unbelievably bad.
Trump also said he agreed with his Secretary of State that there needs to be some movement on ending the war in Ukraine soon.
If for some reason one of the two parties makes it very difficult, we're just going to say you're foolish, you're fools, you're horrible people, and we're going to just take a pass, but hopefully we won't have to do that.
A website Americans once went to for information on COVID vaccines and tests is a different site these days, as Linda Kenyon reports.
The COVID.gov website shows a photo of President Trump walking between letters that spell out lab leak. Under the White House heading, it declares the COVID pandemic originated with a leak from a research lab in Wuhan, China. It also accuses Dr. Anthony Fauci of pushing a preferred narrative that COVID originated in nature. Government websites are often overhauled with each administration, but this makeover makes assertions about the origins of COVID that still have not been proven. A 2023 intelligence analysis said there's insufficient evidence to prove either theory. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The alleged gunman in the Florida State University shooting remains hospitalized.
The suspect continues to receive treatment at one of our local hospitals. He did receive significant injuries in this event and will require a significant amount of time in that facility.
But Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revel says once he is released, he'll be moved to a detention center where he will face charges of first-degree murder. 2 people died in yesterday's shooting. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Now from Minnesota's radio station, let's get you caught up with Minnesota's latest headlines and biggest stories on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 59 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Anoka police say after weeks of investigating, a missing man has been found.
40-year-old Brandon Stott was last seen April 8th at his workplace, 201 Tavern. He failed to show up for his shift 2 days later, which authorities said was out of character for him. Police say Stott is safe and outside the state of Minnesota. No further personal information is being shared, and police are thanking the many volunteers and other law enforcement agencies that helped with the search. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
A Minneapolis man is now charged for allegedly threatening to kill a Minnesota congresswoman. 52-year-old Michael Lewis appeared in federal court today on a charge of threatening to murder a United States official. Authorities say he called the office of the unnamed congresswoman and left a threatening voicemail. Just when you thought the traffic has been running more smoothly, the trucks and heavy machinery will be out there again.
The city is spending $225 million on a host of projects, including repaving 9 miles of streets, complete repair of 1.5 miles of streets, shoring up 2 bridges, and replacing more than 800 lead water lines. Fry says they'll keep working until it's all done, and he's encouraging everyone who's stuck in traffic to give the work crews a thank you for the job that they are doing.
If you find yourself out in traffic and you see one of these neon jerseys behind you, give them a thank you. They deserve it. They're making sure that the potholes get filled and the water lines get replaced. They're making sure that those core components that you may rely on but not even think about are served with care.
In North Minneapolis, Al Shuck, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Christians around the Twin Cities observing Good Friday today, a day of mourning that commemorates the crucifixion and death of Jesus. Dozens of church services are planned this afternoon and evening ahead of Easter Sunday. And with Earth Day just around the corner, one local storefront is encouraging Minneapolis residents to repurpose their old clothes rather than throwing them away.
The Zero Waste Tear Market in Northeast is set to host a clothing swap for the 3rd year in a row this weekend. And founder Amber Hockadal says the idea behind it came from her customers and the community.
A lot of our customers saying, what do I do with textiles? Just something I don't wear anymore, a pair of shoes, a pair of pants. How do I responsibly gift this to someone or swap with someone in a way that makes sense? And so we realized that Tear Market had an important role to play in helping customers and community members meet each other to facilitate something.
She added that they're asking that people do not bring items like undergarments, socks, or linens. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830. WCCO.
The event is tomorrow. It's $5 a ticket and runs from noon until 4. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Traffic is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Shop in-store or online. Watch out for a crash causing major delays on 35 East southbound between University Avenue and 94. And we've got some slow traffic due to construction on 55 eastbound between 35W and East Franklin Avenue, where your roadway is reduced to 1 lane. Get Easter favorites at Whole Foods Market. Save 30% on no antibiotics ever. Bone-in spiral cut pork hams with Prime through April 22nd. Carve into this juicy, sweet centerpiece for your celebratory spread while supplies last. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. I'm Tina Marie on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn McCreevy invites you to a free seminar for pre-planning your funeral and cremation services to help protect your family in the future. Enjoy food. Visit with speakers from the Don Valley Funeral Chapel in Memorial Park. Thursday, April 24th at noon at Redstone American Grill, Eden Prairie. For information, go to washburnmccreevy.com. Seating is limited.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Brought to you by Washburn McGreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The clouds will continue to clear out, leaving us with a clear sky tonight. That means we chill. 36 to start your day tomorrow, but a nice turnaround. Highs in the upper 50s with a mostly sunny sky. Most of Easter Sunday will be dry. You'll notice the clouds increasing, a high up near 60. Rain showers coming in late, mainly falling across southeastern Minnesota, the Twin Cities, and into western Wisconsin.
Mostly cloudy right now, 59 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is always home, even when you're on the go. Accessible anywhere in the world via the Odyssey app. This is News Talk 830 WCCO. No suit, no tie, just DeRusha. It's Drive Time. Live from the WCCO studios, high atop the Odyssey Tower.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise.
I'm super excited to introduce to you
Jason DeRusha.
DeSharks. It's our Friday tradition. Oh, that looks all right. We're streaming it live. You can check it out on YouTube and the WCCO radio channel. Laura's got the board all set up. Looks good. That looks all right.
You set it up.
Well,
this looks weird on camera, but because
Too much
I'm looking
Laura?
that way, and it's too much Laura.
I disagree.
But
No
when I'm
such
looking
thing.
at you, I'm looking sideways into the
Oh.
camera. But that's okay. What else?
You know, I mean, this is
I'm easy.
not a professional production.
No, it's not.
We had Aaron Hazanzada from Channel 4 in here yesterday. Oh, by the way, we got another caller. I was going to say I need another contestant at 651-461-9226. So Aaron Hazanzada from Channel 4 is over here, and she just did a documentary up with the polar bears in Manitoba. Very interesting stuff.
Totally, yes.
But she's there with Tom Avilas, who is one of the nation's best photographers over there at Channel 4. And they had a photographer from CBS News. And she comes in here, and I'm like dragging around webcams. Like, this is what
My
it
little
is.
bendy legs.
Yeah, it's fine. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. We do have two contestants. It's time to play America's slowest growing afternoon card-related game on AM radio for $50 to one of the Jester Concepts restaurants. It's Card DeSharks. The Wild and the Wolves are now playoff bound. Our victorious cheers will soon shake the ground. So enjoy your weekend, come as it may. Start with Card DeSharks now. It's free to play on Card DeSharks. Kristen, thank you for the poem. Very good. Let's say hello to our first contestant. It's Mitch in Roseville. Mitch, welcome to CCO. Welcome to Card DeSharks. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. Mitch, how's life in Roseville today?
Oh, we're hanging in there.
Yeah, that's all you can do. This weekend, are you celebrating, which are you celebrating more? April 20th, 420, or Easter Sunday? What's going to be in the Easter eggs around your house?
How about no comment?
I think that's probably the right answer. Stand by, 420. Stand by, Mitch. Kristen in Vadnais Heights is your opponent. Kristen, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good.
What's happening in Vadnais Heights today?
Well, it's Good Friday, it's Holy Week, and it's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. We got some rain out there. How's the lawn looking in Vadnais Heights?
We're working on it.
We need a little sun. We need a little warmer weather. This has been a weird, I don't know. Laura had a story in the news that I was making fun of about the windy,
Yes.
the windiest
March on record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just seems ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It has been windy though, hasn't it, Kristen?
Yes, it has.
Yeah. I've had to put the extra double-sided tape on my toupee.
Oh, that's
So
good.
you got to
Don't
really
want to scare anybody.
got to anchor that down. All right, here we go. Here's how we play. Mitch and Kristen, we start with a survey of 100 people. And Kristen, you're going to give the first answer. Mitch will say higher or lower. Whoever's right gets control of the board. And it's off to the races. If you want to watch us on WCCO Radio's Facebook, at DeRusha J on X, formerly the Twitter, and also YouTube. That's the best spot. You go to YouTube, WCCO
on.
Radio. Beautiful. You're watching so you can even see the cards. You see Laura, we're all ready to go. And Christian.
I'm just looking at Dan, but okay.
Oh, wow. Just looking at Dan. I'll just put Dan up front
There he
and center there.
is, see?
Oh, goodness. All right. Enough of the eye candy. Here we go. Christian, we asked 100 recent college graduates, do you have a savings account? How many said, yeah, I have a savings account? Did you have a savings account when you graduated, or did you go to college?
Yes, I went to college,
Yeah.
and yes, I have a savings account.
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't think there was much money in it, Laura.
Mine neither.
I was pretty broke in the days after college, and that first job as a TV reporter making $9 an hour wasn't helping much.
Same.
Your first job was a TV reporter,
Little
or
TV,
producer?
little radio, but
Yeah,
both.
it was
were.
about that, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
18 grand a year was my first
Yes,
job.
I think I got a raise up to 21.
That was big time.
That was a big time.
When I got promoted to weekend anchor in
Oh, that's
Davenport,
huge.
Iowa, I was making 25 grand. And I thought, I'm like, I am never going to be late on paying a bill again. I just thought I was so rich.
You know.
I was actually at that time, in the way I was living my life. It was great. It was a long time ago, Kristen. How much did you make in your first job? Do you remember?
My first job?
Yeah.
Holy moly, probably $6.75 when I was in high school.
High school. Yeah.
If that.
So college grads, we asked 100. Do you have a savings account? What do you think? 0 to 100. Give your answer.
I'm saying 75%.
75, says Kristen. Mitch, did you go to college?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I got a job right out of high school.
Smart. No debt for you.
Yeah.
Your job was probably better than Laura and me making 18 grand as a TV reporter.
Oh no, my first job was cleaning the horse barns after the fair. This 1981. It was right out of high school. That was a fun job.
Yeah.
And it went up from there. It just got.
Well, I would hope. I would hope it got better.
There's a lot of jump jobs there. Oh yeah.
Mitch,
Much better, yeah.
Kristen said 75.
I
College
gotta go
grads.
higher. I gotta go higher.
Mitch goes higher.
I'm gonna say
the actual number is 88. It is higher. 88 had a savings account. So, Mitch, you get first crack at the board. Laura's got the red cards and the blue cards all dealt out. Do you want the red or the blue?
I'll go blue.
All right. Mitch goes blue. Laura's going to flip your opening card. It is a 9. You won the question, Mitch, so you can change that card if you want, or you can play the 9. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'll change it.
All right. Change the 9. The 9 is gone, and Laura replaces it with a 7. Well, no better, no worse, I guess. You're in sort of the same spot, but may as well flip the coin. Mitch, what do you think? Higher or lower?
I'll go higher.
All right, higher than 7 with the odds. It is a 3. It is lower. Sorry, Mitch. Kristen, you get a free shot, though. So Kristen gets a free shot at the red cards. Your opening card is a 5. Not bad, Kristen. Higher or lower than a 5?
Higher, please.
Kristen goes higher. The 5 becomes an ace. It is higher. And Kristen, you're off to the races. You want to go higher or lower on the ace?
Lower, please.
Lower than an ace. It is a 6. 6 can be a tricky card, but still pretty low. It's up to you, Kristen. You want to go higher, lower, or you want to freeze on the 6?
I'm freezing.
All right. Kristen freezes on the 6, and we'll freeze as well. Let's take a break. We'll continue with Mitch in Roseville, Kristen in Badness Heights. We are playing for $50 to any of the Jester Concepts restaurants. You can use that at Rustica, at Starling, in Edina, at PS Steak. How about a Parlor Burger? All of those restaurants in effect as well. Thank you, Jester Concepts. We'll keep playing after this.
Don't touch that dial. More Drive Time with DeRusha coming up on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Summer is going to be here before you know it. And you have enough time to make a change in your life, thanks to the people at Livia Weight Control Centers. And I'm going to tell you about an incredible deal that Livia has going on right now. It's Jason here for Livia. You know that Livia has changed my life. I lost 45 pounds. I could not have done it without the help of the Livia Weight Control Centers team. And I got to tell you, can I say that I'm surprised that here we are 2.5 years later and I've kept all that weight off? Livia is built to work. Now, making the decision to reach out to Livia, that's the hard part. But take my word for it. You can lose up to 20 pounds or more in time for summer with Livia's award-winning plans. The difference maker for me is that they customized it to me. They really worked with me. They coached me. They held me accountable. It was an amazing process, and it continues to be. I still go in every 3 weeks to say hi, check in, make sure I'm on track. They do this for people on weight loss, medical solutions as well. They have the best GLP-1 pricing around. But let's go. Let's join now and get 50% off your personalized nutrition program. That's what we're talking about. 50% off just in time for your summer transformation. Get in on it now at livia.com, livea.com, or make the call, 855-GO-LIVIA.
At the University of Minnesota, our goal is to make sure what happens in Minnesota doesn't stay in Minnesota, because the discoveries we're making have implications for the health of the world. From the cancer-detecting AI model we built in Rochester, to how we're redefining mental health in Morris, to breakthroughs we're making in Crookston, Duluth, and the Twin Cities. Our discoveries start here, but they make the world healthier everywhere. The University of Minnesota, driven to discover.
Thinking about buying or selling a business, the right legal team makes all the difference. At Helmuth & Johnson, our team specializes in sophisticated mergers and acquisitions, guiding you through every negotiation, contract, and closing with skill and precision. From due diligence to deal structuring, we are 100% client-focused, protecting your interests so you can focus on success. Big or small, we make complex transactions seamless. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side, for all of your business needs.
You'll feel better, you'll sleep better, and it's all coming to you for free. That's right. Jordana Green here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Mini Leaf products are free shipping all of April. That triple diamond pain cream is perfect for any pain you're having and maybe even any bug bites or a sunburn that you're having. Want to sleep better? Those Sleep Night gummies will definitely do it. Go to MINNELEAF.com. I use these products. They really help me through my cancer recovery. They help me get off my Ambien. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. MINNELEAF.com. That's minileaf.com. Free shipping throughout the month of April. Tell them Jordana sent you when you go to minileaf.com. Free shipping all of April.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
I think this is just all a bunch of hubbubaloo and a waste of time.
You're not wrong.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Card DeSharks in effect. We thank our friends at Jester Concepts. The winner will be getting a $50 gift card. Boy, this weekend, great time to go over to a Starling or Parlor, Butcher and the Boar, all of the great Jester Concept restaurants. We appreciate their support. We are in a battle royale right now between Kristen in Vadnais Heights and Mitch in Roseville. Kristen has 3 cards turned over. She is freezed on the 6. And Mitch, the next question goes to you. Mitch, we asked 100 single people, could you date someone with the same first name as one of your parents? How many said they could? They could.
I'd say 80%.
80%. That doesn't seem that like that would be disqualifying to you.
No.
No.
Mitch, what are your parents' names?
Jack and Kay.
Jack and Kay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those seem fine enough.
Yeah.
I do think it would be now. Well, I say
Kathleen, actually.
now that I think about this, in high school, I did. I went to prom with a girl named Maggie, and my mom is also Maggie.
Okay.
Now, my mom's name is Mary, and her name was Magdalena. She was a beautiful Polish. Oh, Maggie. Maggie went to Notre Dame, married a doctor. She certainly upgraded than dating the guy who would end up on AM radio. I'll tell you that. But, yep. I guess it never struck me as weird to date, to have a date with the same name as my mom. No, I'm fine.
My kid dates, well, his girlfriend's name is the same name as my mom's name. So as his grandmother.
As his grandma.
Yeah, Sally.
Just kind of funny.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
It's nice.
All right. Mitch says 80 would say it's okay. Kristen, what are your parents' names?
John and Janice.
Yeah. Fine. Right? Nothing weird about that. I don't know. What do you think? Higher or lower than Mitch's 80?
Higher.
You're say higher. The actual number of people who said they would date someone with the same first name as their parents is 70. A little lower. That's lower than I would have thought. I think you single people out there are looking for reasons to disqualify folks. Maybe open things up a little bit. That's a little too picky. Well, 70 said it would be fine. Mitch, you get another shot. You're on, you got a 7, which you can change. You can change that opening card if you'd like. So why not?
Yeah, let's change it again.
All right, let's get rid of the 7, and the 7 becomes an ace. Much better. Good change.
There you go.
Higher, lower. Ace is high. So come on.
Gotta go lower.
All right, lower than an ace. Here we go. It's a 5. It is lower than an ace. Mitch, you're on a 5. You want to keep cooking? Higher or lower?
We're gonna ride this out to the end here.
There we go.
I'll go higher.
Higher than a 5. It is a queen. Oh boy. Here we go, Mitch. Higher or lower than that queen?
We're gonna go lower.
Lower than a queen. It is an 8. Oh, now you got a choice, Mitch. You can freeze on the 8 and preserve all your progress, or you can flip that coin, make a call, and you're one card away from
we're
victory.
going for it.
He's going for it. I like a gambler.
Oh, yeah.
What are we doing? Higher or lower than the 8?
I'll probably choke here, but I'm going lower.
Lower than an 8 for the win. It is. Oh, it's a 10. Oh, I thought Mitch was going to get it. I thought you were going to get it. Kristen, you get a free shot. You get a free shot. You're on a 6. What do you want to do, Kristen?
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Higher, please.
Higher than a 6? It is. It's a 7. Just a little bit higher. And now you've got that same sort of tough choice that Mitch faced. You're one card away. If you call it right, you win. If you call it wrong, we go to sudden death. So it's up to you. Higher, lower, or do you want to freeze on the 7?
I'm going to freeze.
All right.
Wait. Can I change my mind?
Yeah, you can change your mind. I'm
going to go lower.
Go lower. Lower than a 7 against the odds. It is. Oh, it's lower.
She did it.
How about that?
My son told me to go lower. I win.
You win.
Yay.
Kristen, you did it. Mitch, you were one card away. I would have gambled too.
Story of my life. I'm like the Vikings in the playoffs. Always choke.
Always work. So close. Mitch, you're great. Great contestant. Thanks for listening and for calling in. We appreciate it. Very fun. There goes Mitch. Kristen, you won. Congratulations.
Thanks, Mitch. Thanks, you guys.
That was really fun. Stay on the line. Dan will get your information. Happy Easter to you, and enjoy one of the Jester Concepts restaurants in Vadnais Heights. Maybe it's Parlor on West 7th in St. Paul for Kristen.
It's a possibility.
Lots of choices.
That was, I thought, Mitch was on such a roll. I thought he was going to nail that.
I thought Mitch was going to get it. I thought Mitch was going to get
too.
it.
And then the switcheroo from Kristen at the end. That was an exciting
There's
game.
some drama.
Yeah.
She made the right choice. You didn't have much to lose.
No, you only back one card. That was the beauty of freezing in that middle card.
Yeah.
Strategery.
There it is. If you missed the game, you can rewind on our YouTube stream. So if you go to YouTube, part of the fun of watching this on YouTube, now you can rewind on the Odyssey app, of course, if you miss any of our segments. But the fact that you can click the live stream on YouTube and rewind to watch Card DeSharks is pretty fun.
Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Laura, thank you.
You bet.
We'll see Laura for a news update coming up at 5 o'clock. We have the Twins on the air today. So pregame starts at 5:30.
They're in Atlanta.
They're in Atlanta.
So it's a weird, it was like 6:15.
6:15 first pitch.
So
because they're
5:30.
on Apple TV tonight.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's one of those weird Friday night.
That's twice now they've been on. Because if they're on Apple TV, they can't be on Twins TV. So those of us that were shelling out some money didn't shell out enough money. You don't get it either unless you already have Apple
I do
TV.
have Apple
Okay,
TV.
well, fine. But then you shelled out more money. So you can't yell at us for not shelling out money.
I don't love the Apple TV thing. So
I get it.
I get it. I get it.
Major League Baseball's been kind of haphazard in how they're trying to get into streaming and are throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, and little inconvenient.
Little inconvenient.
Yeah.
You know where you never have to worry about it? Right here.
Right here on the big 830.
It's always here. You don't. There's no blackouts. There's no this or that. We're always here on 830. We're going to break. When we come back, why don't we talk Twins? Dan Hayes will join us, the Twins beat writer for The Athletic. And don't forget, we are giving away Stevie Nicks tickets. And we're going to do it this hour, too. So keep listening. We'll give away a pair of Stevie Nicks ticks to the XL Energy Center on August 19th. So stick around. We'll do that this hour after we visit with Dan Hayes on Drive Time.
Jason DeRusha returns shortly with more of Drive Time on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is Jason here, and as you make plans for the weekend, I would like you to go visit my friends at J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. Now, I was just out at J.H. & Sons with Sam, my teenager, where Sam went suit shopping. I got to tell you, it was so fun to take the kid to experience quality tailoring. So J.H. & Sons, look, it's premium stuff. And so if you have a high schooler that you want to buy a graduation suit or a prom suit that is going to stick around and last for a while, J.H. & Sons is a great option for you. Sam went and tried on that suit at the Galleria. Dean is the tailor there. He's one of the best tailors in the Twin Cities. The sales team at J.H. & Son has worked at the finest men's clothing stores in this city for decades. So you're going to get impeccable service. So wedding season, think about it. Go get something that looks good. Maybe you haven't had a new suit since before COVID. Your body's changed. Your taste has changed. The styles have changed. J.H. & Sons has you covered. Now, maybe you're not a suit guy, but J.H. & Sons has a linen shop. Linen pants, linen shirts. I bought a pink linen shirt, Dan. I'm not afraid of it. Real men wear pink. That's what I say. Go see Kevin. Go see Chuck. Go see Bryce. Go see Dean. Go to J.H. & Sons. It's at the Galleria in Edina. You can check out their latest fashions in their spring lookbook. It's online at jhnSons.com.
Now more than ever, it's important to be a part of conversations taking place on News Talk 830 WCCO. But you're busy and don't always have time to sit on hold.
Press 1 to get accidentally disconnected. Press 2 to hear an endless loop of sappy smooth jazz.
Instead, leave a voice message with the Odyssey app. Just press the mic icon next to the Listen Live button and get something right to the show.
I really don't know if protesting works.
Why am I not shocked that the head of the ethics committee has an ethics problem?
It's the voice message feature. Use it now on the Odyssey app. If you've inherited valuable coins, gold, silver, or jewelry, where do you turn? American Rare Coin and Collectibles in Bloomington is the trusted choice. For over 30 years, families, trustees, and advisors have relied on American Rare Coin to evaluate and purchase valuable coin and precious metals collections with honesty, transparency, and immediate payment. We make the process simple, and we're conveniently located in Bloomington on American Boulevard. For experience and honesty, visit AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Did you know that this year marks 100 years of Minnesotans supporting our veterans through the DAV of Minnesota? Showing your support is as easy as donating your gently used clothing and household items. Visit donatedavmn.org to schedule a curbside pickup or find the nearest donation drop-off location. Whether it's a community donation center at Savers or unique thrift stores or the neon green bin in your city, you're just a few miles from helping those who've served our country. So join DAV of Minnesota's efforts to give back to those who gave so much.
99% of realtors recommend a home inspection, and with Win Home Inspection, you're guaranteed the best when you hire the handsome bald guy. Steve Stalock with Win Home Inspection delivers a comprehensive report within 24 hours of your inspection that analyzes your home from the roof to the foundation and all major systems. Win, we see more clearly. To schedule an inspection in your area, call Steve at 952-891-4455 or go to wini.com. That's WINI.com.
Adam Carter back on CCO saying, congratulations to all our listeners on becoming employees of Dodge of Burnsville. What do you mean by that, Adam? I mean, you're an employee at Dodge of Burnsville because you get employee pricing right now, and you don't even have to work at the DOB. Right now, the DOB has employee pricing on Ram and Dodge models for both 2024 and 2025. So hear me out. You don't need to fill out any resume. You don't need to work at Dodge of Burnsville to get Dodge of Burnsville employee pricing. You can lease a Ram truck right now. A brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab for just $369 a month. $369 a month. That's employee pricing for you, and you don't have to be an employee. The lot is loaded with inventory for immediate delivery. Drive off the lot with a new truck today with employee pricing. Get out there today, and if you want a job, maybe you'll get one. Right at 35W in Cliff in Burnsville, or shop online right now at thekingofram.com.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Traffic brought to you by Miller Marine of St. Cloud, world's largest Bennington dealer. Scratch and dent sale going on now. We've got a crash on 94 eastbound between 35W and 55. This is causing about a 6-minute delay. And we have another crash on 35 east southbound between University Avenue and 94. This is causing a 7-minute delay. It's the factory scratch and dent truckload sale exclusively at Miller Marine. For a limited time only, get fishing boats starting at $105 per month and pontoons starting as low as $243 per month. Shop world's largest Bennington dealer, over 100 plus boats inside. Shop in the 70-degree comfort, largest showroom in Minnesota. Miller Marine of St. Cloud. We buy more, so we sell for less. I'm Tina Marie on News Talk 830 WCCO.
What a crazy winter. Crabgrass season will be early. Don't wait till it's too late to get your project scheduled. Call ProTurf 952-469-8680 or see their work at professionalturf.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Weather brought to you by ProTurf. They take care of my lawn. Go visit them at professionalturf.com. Let's check in with WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We're in for a chilly night tonight because the clouds will continue to clear out. So we start our Saturday around 36, warming up to 57 tomorrow with a mostly sunny sky. A very nice looking day. Easter Sunday looks nice as well. Dry for much of the day. The clouds will be increasing. The temperatures increasing up to around 60. Rain showers will be moving in late, and that will linger into the early part of Monday.
Right now, it is mostly cloudy. 53, pretty decent right now on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
Let's go through the list.
Yeah.
What do you think of Jason?
Absolutely no.
Oh, wow. Kathleen, thank you very much.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Well, your fourth place Minnesota Twins showed some signs of life against the Mets. They are in Atlanta against another team that has had a very slow start to the season. Our friend Dan Hayes is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline right now with a little look at how things are going for the Twins. Hey, Dan, how are you?
I'm good. How about you? Thanks for having me on.
Some news coming from the Twins about a call-up from the minor leagues, and they have selected the contract of Luke. Is it Keyshaw? You just wrote a piece about him.
Yeah, Keishel. He it's a good move. It's a big move. It's a we're not trying to be dead yet kind of move because man, are they dead everywhere right now with injuries. It's crazy. I even have not gonna lie, I stubbed my toe the other day and I got a paper cut and I'm not on the injured list. I fight through it, but I mean everybody's hurt right now and it's been crazy to see it. All these guys, kind of run into trouble at the same time. And so Luke Keeschel, Luke Keeschel comes up and, I would say it's definitely earlier than the Twins wanted to bring him up.
Right.
But it's not a stretch to think he can handle the assignment. He's a very talented player, very exciting guy, lots of tools, but maybe most important is the fact that he just sort of acts like he belongs and they love that about him. He was an undersized guy as a prep, he didn't get recruited heavily, went to USF, University of San Francisco, and hit his way into the Pac-12 and to Arizona State. Like to go from USF, which is Division I and it's a good program, but I mean, to go from there to one of the King of Kings kind of schools tells you everything you need to know. And the Twins felt really lucky to get him in the second round in 2023. And, he had Tommy John last year in August. He played the whole season with a torn ACL. They had to limit what he could do in the field because of that, but he was hitting so much they didn't want him to lose development. And he waited till August, had a great season, and was the minor league player of the year. And here he is now.
Your story was fascinating on Keeschel because you tell the story of a meeting that he had with Sean Johnson, the assistant general manager, where it was sort of during the combine, right? There was such a which to me is amazing because I just think there's so much analytics on these guys. There's so much video. There's so much testing on and on and on that to think that a meeting could make an impression is pretty amazing.
I agreed 100%, but I think it tells you what we know about baseball, which is the human side is very much involved in this, the psyche, and some guys can handle it and some guys don't. And you see, a ton of great talents who always fizzle out because the mental side is just so much. The idea that you go 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts one day and you have to come back the very next day. It's not like you have 7 days off like football to your next game. It's the next day and you have to come back and be ready for it. And they love this kid's ability to do that. I mean, again, he knew before the season began last year that he needed Tommy John. He tried to, play different angles in the outfield, do stuff to minimize how much his arm would be a weakness. He played around that for 5 months and was excellent enough to the point where he got a couple promotions and ended up the minor league player of the year. I think that gives you a pretty good clue of what he is mentally and why they think he can succeed. But yeah, the combine, I think it's been around for 4 years in baseball. And he came in for a draft meeting. I think he said he had about 20 meetings with teams. So he didn't specifically remember the Twins one, but they sure remembered him because Sean Johnson said he never says it about people off a meeting. And he said it immediately after Keeschel left the room that the kid that's a major leaguer right there. And I think that speaks volumes. You look at the Twins record of drafting position player prospects, they're pretty good at it over the years. And for them to feel that way about this guy is a statement.
Correa back in the lineup, and I'm posting if you're watching this on YouTube or on X or on the WCCO Radio Facebook page. The Twins have just put out their lineup for tonight. Correa back in the lineup. Keeschel will be at DH tonight, so he'll make his major league debut tonight. Good to see Correa back in the lineup. He was sort of day by day with his it was the wrist that he was worried about, sore left wrist.
Yeah, and he said he's been dealing with it since last year, but
is that the first we heard of that when he said that after the game?
It was. He did say there was enough of a look at it last year that they had an MRI done, which the Twins obviously confirmed for us after the fact. But they said there was nothing serious in it then, and I think if there had been anything serious in there right now, they would protect him. He went on the IL last year in April with an oblique strain, so the fact that he is back in the lineup kind of speaks volumes. And he did say it on Wednesday that he felt better. After the game, he said it wasn't a problem, but they also weren't going to hit him that day. They wanted to give him a couple days off and, probably something to do with some cold weather. I wonder if that plays into it at all. I wonder if that plays into a lot of the soft tissue issues. Because when you go from 90 degrees, and although this was a pretty mild Florida spring with maybe a few days in the 80s, but when you go from that to playing in 40, I can see how that might have an impact. Robbie Grossman, former Twin, was talked about that last year, that, going from hot weather to cold weather is not easy on the body. And he thinks that's one of the reasons why the Twins have so many soft tissue issues early in the season. So they're dealing with a lot of them right now. But this is the wrist, and Correa is obviously feeling good enough to get back in there.
Dan, we've been looking for anything to feel good about because the start of the season was so rough. The series against the Mets, I got to tell you, the Mets have a heck of an offense, and for the Twins to grab two of those, I don't know. At least it gives you enough as a fan to be like, okay, I don't have to call it yet. And some of the talk about how hot is Rocco Baldelli's seat, I know at first, I think you sort of dismissed that talk. I dismissed it. And then you see lose. I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe his seat is hot.
Yeah, no, there's no question. I mean, earlier this week that started to creep out there, and that's the first time that it's gotten to that point with him. And that speaks volumes because he is a guy that Derek Falvey, really went to bat for in October last year and said he's a partner and a guy that we want around. And for his name to get out there, that tells you how bad things have gotten. But you're right, with the Mets series, it was encouraging. Okay, look, aside from the fact that relief pitchers should not be throwing the ball to a base at all, ever.
Yes.
Joe Ryan was fantastic against the Mets. He went 6 and gave up 1 run over that 6. David Festa was very good. Bailey Ober was very good. You look at, the rotation the first 2 times through was an absolute disaster. It was like a 6.90 ERA or maybe 6.98 ERA after the first 2 starts for everybody. I believe since then it's like 2.2. Their rotation is keeping them in games and giving them a chance. And I think that, look, we know the offense has to get better. They were about the same as they were last year. And they course corrected last year too. What it will need to find is, can they be more consistent than last year? And look, there's a lot of good talent in there mixed in. It's been frustrating. It's hard to see it, and everybody's angry, and it's understandable. But at the same time, baseball evens out, and when the pitching is going as well as it is, as long as those relievers, can maybe just start rolling the ball to first base. I don't know. Don't throw it.
No more throwing. No more.
Yeah. I mean, Duran came close in his save on Tuesday night to throw. That ball hit Willie Castro in the face. It bounced up. If Willie Castro's face hadn't been there, that ball gets into center field. And we have another disaster brewing. And so,
Chop to the right side. Julian will tag Lindor.
Out of they had 3 bad innings out of the series, and that was including the Griffin Jacks 8th inning on Wednesday. So when you play a team that came in as good as the Mets are, they were 10-4 when the series started. That's not a fake team.
That's right.
Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor.
That lineup, you're like, I don't know. The way our season has started, I thought there was a decent chance we were going to get smoked.
Right. It gives you hope that they can go into Atlanta and just take advantage of the fact that the Braves are down right now.
Right.
If you can win 2, or you came out of Atlanta winning 2, 1 first, let's be honest, you got to win 1, and you got to look good in 2. But if you could win 2 somehow in Atlanta, you come back and the White Sox and the Angels are coming to town. That's a chance to get healthy again. And this is what they need to do to make up for that abysmal start. But, they were 0-4. They're 7-12 now. That means they've played just under 500 balls since. It's had a lot of ugliness. Yet you can see signs where this wouldn't be such a bad thing. And they might be able to turn it around. So at least there's a hope of optimism instead of just the season's over, this is trash.
Exactly. Yeah. Dan Hayes with The Athletic, covers the Twins. So I was at the game on Sunday, and it was a beautiful day. 70 degrees, sun is out, and the Twins won. Like, it was a good moment. And also, there couldn't have been more than 10,000 people there on a Sunday at a 1 o'clock start. Is winning what they need to do to get people back, or do you think the problems run deeper than that?
I mean, look, I think the problems do run deeper than that, but winning will solve some of it. If you think you have a decent team, that'll get people to come out. April always is a killer in attendance.
For sure.
Look, I can't believe you did. I don't want to sit outside in 48 and whip and win. That's terrible. We don't know.
I mean, the sun was out. It was beautiful. I chose my game carefully.
74. That was like 74 degrees. That was wonderful. But most day games in April
awful.
are not like that.
And the night games are even worse, right? Like it it just is what it is. But it still was, not to minimize the reality that these are the worst numbers they've ever had. Outside of COVID, which doesn't really count.
Right. Monday was the lowest reported non-COVID total Target Field history. And I think, Aaron Gleeman wrote it was like their lowest in since 2003 or 2002, something like that. So yes, there are deeper issues. There's no question. Fans need change, and that's a slow process.
Winning changes a lot, though. If you start cooking, it changes.
Because, think about this, sir. It's not just that. There are just fans that love to go to the ballpark and spend a day at the ballpark.
For sure.
And that happens in the summer. And those traditionalists will always keep coming back. So attendance will go up as the weather gets warmer. People will not stay away. I think there is certainly, though, some group of the fan base that is going to stay away and make their point by spending their dollars elsewhere. And that's just sort of the reality of the situation at this point. It's unfortunate because the players are the ones that feel it, because they're the ones who need that support. I mean, there's evidence out there about the home crowd being helpful to your cause.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Dan, thank you. We appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too, man. Thanks.
Dan Hayes from The Athletic. We're going to give away Stevie Nicks tickets. How about that? 651-461-9226. Call now. We will play Name That Tune. And the winner, who can name that tune, a very short clip, will get 2 tickets to go see Stevie Nicks. So let's go. Call right now, 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with Teresha is back after this on News Talk 830 WCCO.
What are you having for dinner this weekend? It's Jason for our friends at Minnesota Pork, and they wish you the happiest of Easter. There is no question that Minnesota pork and ham is such a part of the traditional Easter dinner. When you're gathering with family, I want you, as you enjoy that wonderful, beautiful smoked ham, to think about the fact that there are 3,000 families in every corner of this state that are working so hard to raise pigs to make sure you have that beautiful meal. You know that those families are going to be sitting together enjoying their Minnesota pork on Easter Sunday. Generational farming is a reality for so many family farms. We had Maddie Hokinson from Goodhue County in earlier this week. She is in her 20s. She is a 7th generation family farmer. That's what Minnesota pork is all about. I want you to go to your butcher shop, to go to your grocery store. You probably have your ham already, maybe not. But let's make Minnesota pork a part of your dinner at least once a week.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
At the University of Minnesota, our goal is to make sure what happens in Minnesota doesn't stay in Minnesota, because the discoveries we're making have implications for the health of the world. From the cancer-detecting AI model we built in Rochester, to how we're redefining mental health in Morris, to breakthroughs we're making in Crookston, Duluth, and the Twin Cities. Our discoveries start here, but they make the world healthier everywhere. The University of Minnesota, driven to discover.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more. This doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Good morning, Doctor. Doctor? Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Chad back here with you on CCO. Always a pleasure when I get the chance to talk about Pella Windows and Doors, this great company celebrating 100 years in business. My house I'm living in now, yeah, a customer of Pella for 20-some years, moving to a new place, yeah, Pella Windows and Doors. They will come out for a free, no-obligation visit. You can go to their place, Plymouth and Woodbury, their showroom. Great deal right now, $750 off your Pella project and 0% APR for 12 months, PellaNorthland.com.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
We have reports of a gas leak in Columbia Heights. 65 is closed in both directions because of this between 50th Avenue Northeast and 53rd Avenue Northeast, so please avoid the area. Watch for a crash on 94 eastbound between 35W and 55. This is causing about an 8-minute delay. And watch for construction on 55 eastbound between 35W and East Franklin Avenue, where your roadway is reduced to 1 lane. I'm Tina Marie on News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you have trees to trim or need tree removal, call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO line company I use, B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034, or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
B&M Tree Service bring us the weather forecast tonight. A little chilly, low at 36. Tomorrow, average sunny, high at 57. Easter Sunday looking good too. 60 with rain possible late, but your egg hunt should be fine. Right now, it is 53 on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Now video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
That's it. That's all we're giving you to win your tickets to see Stevie Nicks at the X on August 19th. LiveNation.com has tickets on sale, but let's see if Carrie in White Bear Lake, Carrie, can you name that Stevie Nicks tune?
What am I supposed to do? Stop dragging my heart around.
Yeah. Oh, Carrie, this, you did it. You did it. Oh, listen to you. Yes. I love it. I love the excitement. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Carrie, how excited are you?
Intensely excited.
I love it. I'm excited for you. This is awesome. Carrie, congratulations. You're a longtime Stevie Nicks fan, I can tell.
You got it.
What's your favorite?
I'm a CCO fan.
Oh, a CCO fan too. Wonderful. What's your favorite song?
I'm so pumped I can't think. Oh, probably something 16. Can't think of it on the top of my head. I'm so pumped I'm not thinking.
That's all right. That's all right.
16?
I think, isn't it 17?
17. Yeah, that was the
17.
That was the Monday song.
Yeah.
There you go.
Edge of 17.
Well, good. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one.
Well, good that you didn't call in on that day and
Yeah,
you said 16.
that'd have been a problem.
And then it would have
Yeah,
been
no
no good.
kidding.
Stop Dragging My Heart Around is right. One of the great Stevie Nicks songs. August 19th, XL Energy Center. You're going courtesy of Drive Time with DeRusha. How about that?
I love it. Thank you so much, guys.
Carrie, stay on the line. Dan will get your information. I would just like to give a shout out to Kevin in Apple Valley, who called. I think he made it into the top 5 most days this week.
He said he was second in line the last 2 days, so
never got to him.
At least today was third, so
it wasn't that close, Kevin.
It's sorry,
It's better to be the bronze medalist than the silver medalist because you can taste it. That's what I say. We're going to do CBS News. The lead includes how the economy is affecting people having kids or not.
Denny on back once again with Ron Esau from Great Garage Floors. Ron and his company came out to my house years ago, and I love that epoxy floor. I know we're going to talk about how easy it is to keep clean, Ron, but there's absolutely no pressure, is there?
Yeah, we just come out really to try to educate the customer on how we do our process, and we give you a quote, and there's really no pressure to get it done. We want you to think about your spring projects, line them up, and if this is a priority this year, we'll get it done for you.
And you bring samples of that work too, don't you?
You sure bet we do.
And this is a good time of year, not only, to keep the garage floor clean for spring and summer and fall, but graduation parties. We always like to talk about that too, don't we?
Yeah, they come up and, this is the backup room. This is the backup room for that rain that may come, or a big windy day, or you want to set up the buffet. It's a nice, good-looking spot to do that.
952-473-8600, or get on the web at greatgaragefloorsforyou.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Postman Law is about winning. If you've been hurt in a crash, on the job, or anywhere else, we fight to get you the most compensation possible. With over $3 billion recovered, our track record speaks for itself. Call 844-POSTMAN. Postman delivers speed, ease, and results. Offices, Minneapolis.
Where you get your news matters. This is Minnesota's radio station. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Senator Chris Van Hollen is just back from El Salvador, where he met with a Maryland man mistakenly deported there.
The government, in this case the Trump administration, is asserting a right to stash away residents of this country in foreign prisons without the semblance of due process that is the foundation of our constitutional order.
President Trump continues to insist there was cause for his deportation and listing a series of allegations.
This is the man that the Democrats are wanting us to fly back from El Salvador to be a happily ensconced member of the USA family.
Trump said today negotiations to win the war in Ukraine need to come to some conclusions soon. If not, he says the U.S. will have to take a pass. Stacey Lynn reports the federal judiciary wants more money to keep judges safe.
In a letter to Congress, it's asking for more funding to keep the federal courthouses safe at a time when threats have escalated. They call the current funding levels unsustainable, nearly $50 million less than what the courts requested just for security. More than 6 judges handling lawsuits against the Trump administration are already receiving enhanced online security screening. That typically includes scrubbing their personal info from the internet. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
There's a new federal website for COVID information, and it looks a lot different from the old one. Here's Alexander Tin.
The White House is touting a new website titled Lab Leak, the true origin of COVID-19, which has replaced an earlier website webpage published by the Department of Health and Human Services that used to provide resources for how to find tests and vaccines for the virus.
The suspect in the Florida State University shooting remains hospitalized.
The suspect continues to receive treatment at one of our local hospitals. He did receive significant injuries in this event and will require a significant amount of time in that facility.
Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revel says once he's released, he will be moved to a detention center and charged with murder. 2 people died and 5 others are hospitalized after the shootings. Good Friday observances have taken place in Rome. CBS's Chris Livesay on whether the Pope will be taking part in the services.
Are we going to see him on Easter? Officially, he's not supposed to make any appearances, but it's become clear now Pope Francis makes those decisions, nobody else.
The 88-year-old Pope was recently hospitalized for 5 weeks with double pneumonia. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now from Minnesota's radio station, let's get you caught up with Minnesota's latest headlines and biggest stories on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 57 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Some breaking news this hour. Crews are on the scene of a gas leak that has closed down part of Highway 65 in Columbia Heights in both directions. No status updates yet or when that roadway might reopen. Anoka police say after weeks of investigating, a missing man has been found.
40-year-old Brandon Stott was last seen April 8th at his workplace, 201 Tavern. He failed to show up for his shift 2 days later, which authorities said was out of character for him. Police say Stott is safe and outside the state of Minnesota. No further personal information is being shared, and police are thanking the many volunteers and other law enforcement agencies that helped with the search. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
A Minneapolis man is now charged for allegedly threatening to kill a Minnesota congresswoman. 52-year-old Michael Lewis appeared in federal court today on a charge of threatening to murder a United States official. Authorities say he called the office of the unnamed congresswoman and left a threatening voicemail. Construction season has been well underway on our freeways for a few weeks now, and Minneapolis officials are announcing $225 million worth of their own construction plans for the spring and summer. Mayor Jacob Fry says the work may also mean more stop-and-go traffic.
While you may be pissed off, there's important work that's taking place that quite literally holds our city together. This is water main repair. This is street reconstruction. This is resurfacing projects. These are projects that make sure that you can get from point A to point B. And these are projects to make sure that when you turn the faucet, there's actually water that comes out of it.
The city will be repaving 9 miles of streets, shoring up 2 bridges over the Midtown Greenway, and replacing about 800 lead water lines. Cleanup continues at the Renaissance Festival grounds in Shakopee, where multiple buildings caught fire last night. Several hours to put out the flames because of a lack of a water opening in August. And as many celebrate 420 this weekend, the Twin Cities THC industry continues to boom.
At Utapills, THC beverages have soared. Director of Taproom Operations, Addison Memel.
THC beverages have taken over a bigger portion of our percentage of sales, like our product mix. I wouldn't say it's tipped the scales drastically, but enough where, we're going through a few cases a weekend. It's probably getting close to about 3% at this point, which is significant.
It's primarily been the younger generation aiding the blitz.
I think a lot of it is lifestyle, health and wellness, just having alternative options, especially with younger people we're seeing drink a lot less beer.
Memel says he sees the THC market continue to boom, just like the craft beer world did a few years back. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Watch for a delay due to a crash 94 eastbound between 35W and 55. You're going to run into about a 10-minute delay. We've got reports of a gas leak in Columbia Heights. So 65 is closed in both directions between 50th Avenue Northeast and 53rd Avenue Northeast. They're asking you to just avoid the area. And watch for slow traffic due to construction on 55 eastbound between 35W and East Franklin Avenue, where your roadway is reduced to one lane. I'm Tina Marie on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Brought to you by the Canopy Group. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The clouds will continue to clear out, leaving us with a clear sky tonight. That means we chill. 36 to start your day tomorrow, but a nice turnaround. Highs in the upper 50s with a mostly sunny sky. Most of Easter Sunday will be dry. You'll notice the clouds increasing, a high up near 60. Rain showers coming in late, mainly falling across southeastern Minnesota, the Twin Cities, and into western Wisconsin.
Mostly cloudy right now, 57 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
When the newsmakers want to talk, they do it here. News Talk 830 WCCO. No suit, no tie, just DeRusha. It's Drive Time. Live from the WCCO studios, high atop the Odyssey Tower.
You're watching the cool, brainwashing 12-year-old and younger station that hides behind a slick image. We're so cool that we decide what's cool. And now, here's your host,
Jason DeRusha.
Drive Time with DeRusha. One more half hour before we get you to Twins baseball. It's Jason here with Dan. Laura just got you updated on the news. We're going to talk about the Minecraft movie phenomena. Is it worth seeing? It's been crazy. All the memes, everything. A little primer for those of us old people who don't know quite what is going on. Let's do the lead.
Now, time to get you caught up on some of the biggest stories of the day. These are the DeRush Hour headlines.
Good evening. Our top story.
This just in.
Our top story.
We begin tonight with.
We begin tonight.
We begin with the lead.
And the lead story is a shift in the way young people are looking at the economy and looking at making decisions on whether or not to have kids. New study from Securian Financial honestly blew my mind. The number of people who say the economy is keeping them from having children. Well, let's go to the expert. Live with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline is Lydia Gillick, the Securian Financial Vice President of Employee Benefit Solutions, because Securian did this survey. Lydia, were you surprised by these numbers?
I definitely was surprised. And thank you, first of all, for having me, Jason. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about our survey today.
84% of Gen Zers, 71% of millennials say that the economy impacts their decision when it comes to having kids, right?
Absolutely. We did a survey back in 2024. This was actually our third year of doing a survey of this type. And we found that of about 1,500 full-time employees, those numbers that you cited, 84% of Gen Z and 71% of millennials, really felt that the economy had a major impact on if they were going to have children. And when we asked them why, nearly 40% of those on the Gen Z and millennial responded that they felt pressure and had negative financial concerns that were impacting those decisions.
Are these concerns well-founded? Are they reasonable?
I think they are reasonable. If you think about sort of the factors that are influencing people as they're thinking about making decisions regarding starting a family, we definitely have seen inflation. People have concerns about job security and the cost of living. Those are many things that are concerning to people, and expenses like medical care and housing and just the general cost of living really have increased the cost of raising a child by 42% in the last decade or so.
Yeah. Yeah, and the child care costs that you know, just so you know, and some of this is like, okay, I had two kids, they were in daycare, it was expensive, but it wasn't crushing. It was just expensive. But
right.
But today, I think where somebody like me who's a Gen Xer, and you think like, oh, it's bad, but you're like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. Well, between 2020 and 2024, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says childcare costs are up 22%. So So the kids today are dealing with a bunch of different financial headwinds than you and I dealt with.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I really have seen an increase in those costs that we're seeing those numbers coming out of the studies.
Lydia Gillick from Securian, part of why you guys did this survey is because you deal in benefits that employers provide. And boy, I think about this a lot in the debate about return to office, that if I ran a company, you would think providing some relief on childcare expense would be the number one factor in trying to help millennials and trying to help the Gen Zers.
Definitely, childcare expenses are things that employers are thinking about. Employees are also increasingly looking to their employers to help them from a benefit standpoint.
Yeah.
So be it, really thinking about people who are thinking about starting a family, having benefits that would support them in doing that are reasons for them to join an organization or in sometimes to stay with an organization.
Yeah.
And at Securian, we do have some benefits that we can provide to the employers that we service, such as a hospital indemnity product, and it can help to offset the cost of that childbirth and those days in the hospital associated with that.
I got to be honest,
I to think about those things.
I was not running the benefit calculus when I was thinking about whether or not to have kids. I mean, some of this stuff to me is a little hard to get my arms around, right? Like, are the Gen Zers and millennials this logical that they're getting out the spreadsheet before they kind of, turn the lights down and get things going? I don't know.
That's a very good question. Very good question indeed.
Don't ask that in the workplace, but you could ask that on the radio.
Right.
So that's how it goes. Lydia Gillick from Securian. Thanks for being with us. Really interesting survey. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. And if people are interested in learning more, the survey is available on Securian.com under our newsroom tab.
Perfect. I'm looking at it right now and putting it up on the screen on our YouTube page so people can check that out as well. Lydia, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It is 5:13. I want to take the temperature of the Minnesota Twins.
Let's take the current temp of your Minnesota Twins. Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Get your wireless meat thermometer now at chefiq.com.
Dan, I would put the temperature of the Twins in a slightly warming.
You're missing the obvious one here.
Oh, what? Go ahead.
The temperature of the Twins, Jason, is lukewarm.
Lukewarm.
That's right. Luke Keyshaw making his major league debut tonight. You got to go with lukewarm.
That's very good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Your post on X, I think, is exactly perfect.
Yeah.
Tell people what you.
I just wrote, the Twins put out their lineup, announcing that, obviously Luke was coming and then he was making his major league debut. I'm a sucker for a major league debut. I always have been, because it's one of the few opportunities in life for you to go someplace or watch on TV a young person achieve a dream that they've had since they were 5-6 years old in real time. Making a Major League Baseball team is an impossibly difficult thing to do. Very few people relative to the population ever get to have that moment. And here you get to see it in real time happening. This person's dream coming true. That's rare. It's special. And it's a lot of fun.
I love that. So that's Dan Cook at Dan Cook WCCO on X. Give Dan a follow. I'm DeRusha J. That's the temperature of the Twins baseball. Pre-game starts at 5:30. The game right here on CCO. First pitch is at 6:15. We'll break. When we come back, Charlie Oakes is here. We're going to talk about movies, including the Minecraft movie. Maybe you've heard references to it. Is it worth seeing? And then other things that are more worth your time seeing. Charlie will talk about it next.
We need a quick pit stop. Then Jason DeRusha continues on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's talk about landscaping, professional turf. They've been doing it for more than 3 decades. Yes, they take care of my lawn. Keep it weed-free. It looks great. They do that. They'll turn on your irrigation system. They'll check it. They'll fix it. They'll install it. But I want to talk about the incredible work they do with Total Landscape Jobs. They are all-stars when it comes to landscaping. When you buy a ProTurf landscaping project, the professional design is no charge. This is part of the ProTurf difference. They're just different. I was checking out some of their latest projects, and you can do the same at professionalturf.com. A lot of us update the insides of our home. Think of the ROI that you'll get by updating the outside. So many of us have landscape and plants that are overgrown, unwieldy, beyond repair. ProTurf can take it all out, install a new landscape, They can do retaining walls, boulder rocks, new driveways, new sidewalks, whatever you need. They will do the job, no matter how small or how big. See the quality at professionalturf.com. Estimates are free. 952-469-8680. ProTurf, they're family owned. They're Minnesota. They've been getting results since 1982.
Financial advice should be holistic and tailored to your life. I'm Ryan Antkowiak, financial advisor with Baird Private Wealth Management and the president of the Financial Planning Association of Minnesota. At Baird, we provide investment and financial planning advice for all areas of your life: family, retirement, estate planning, and charitable giving. Plus, we coordinate with your tax and legal advisors to ensure you have one comprehensive financial plan that makes sense for you. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
We sell more, that's why we're selling for less. It's the Factory Scratch and Dent Truckload Sale, exclusively at Miller Marine. For a limited time, get fishing boats starting at just $19,999 plus applicable fees, with payments starting under $200 a month, like a 2025 side console smoker craft with 60 horsepower Yamaha and trailer with swing tongue. Or hop into a brand new pontoon starting at just $26,990 plus applicable fees, with payments starting under $225 a month. We're passing huge factory savings directly to you, up to $50,000 off select models. Shop over 100 boats inside the largest showroom in Minnesota. Miller Marine is the world's largest Bennington dealer, now selling premier pontoons and skier boats backed by our award-winning service team, the top-ranked Yamaha dealer in the nation. We buy more, so we sell for less. Only at Miller Marine.
Miller Marine, Miller Marine, Miller Marine. We sell more, that's why we sell for less at Miller Marine.
You know that feeling when you're about to cut into a juicy steak and hope it tastes as perfect as it looks? Well, worry no more. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether on the stovetop, oven, or grill. The probe is inserted into your food and connected wirelessly to an app. Once you select your desired doneness, the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill or the turkey out of the oven. It's that simple. Order one now on chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
That is the number one addiction in America. Is there any doubt about it?
No, I don't think so.
It's not close.
No.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I am Steve. As a child, I yearned for the mines, but something always got in the way.
Go on, get out of here!
But the call of the mines was too strong. So one day, I started digging and digging until I found this.
The Minecraft movie has become a bit of a frenzy, and I think it's caught a lot of us off guard. So our Gen Z movie critic, Charlie Oakes, has come in to enlighten those of us who are old. Charlie, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Chicken Jockey. So Chicken Jockey, my son, who is 19, works at a restaurant and said the other day a couple of kids called up and tried to order Chicken Jockey.
Oh, yeah.
That this is the prank. What is this?
It's just, I don't want to say they're making fun of it, because I think when I say they, I'm referring to maybe the teens and the kids that have, been kind of waiting for a movie like Minecraft. I feel like the younger generation hasn't had their movie yet. And this kind of might be that for them. So I think it was a funny clip out of the trailer, and people just have kind of made memes out of it and taken it to a whole nother level.
A chicken jockey would be like a zombie riding on the back of a chicken.
Yeah, so it's like kind of an iconic part of the game. Yeah. Yep.
So Minecraft is a game that certainly like any parent of a kid who is maybe, I don't know, 28 through 8, like this whole age group, kids have been playing Minecraft. Certainly during COVID, I feel like Minecraft was part of how
big time. Yeah.
Friends stayed friends.
Yeah.
Instead of
I was doing it. Yeah, for sure.
So the movie, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was fun. I mean, it's tough to, it's kind of in its own world. Video game movies are still pretty new, and I think within that small world of what that is, it's good. It's near the top of what video games movie are today, and I think it kind of set the standard. I mean, I know that the second one is already in the works after a pretty positive reception, and it's on track to hit $1 billion in box office. So it's
amazing.
It's doing really well.
There is a cultural touch point, I think, for my generation. Rocky Horror Picture Show was sort of that movie that was bad that you would go to sing along, to yell at the movie, to participate. And I, from what I've been reading, Minecraft movie is very similar. That is very participatory.
Yeah, it's definitely
in a way that could be annoying, right? But it's also awesome.
The chicken jockey situation, I think, has gotten out of hand. I've seen clips of, kids bringing in a real chicken to the theater, people throwing their popcorn everywhere.
Popcorn, yeah.
The AMC employees, you got to think about them too. It's like, then they're going to have to clean that up. And it's just a whole deal. I think it's kind of coming to an end, but it's, expect something to go down, I think, when you go and see this in theater.
There is something about the fact that young people want to see this in the theater. They're not waiting for it to be streaming. They're going to have the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comes back to the chicken jockey situation.
But you have to love this as someone who likes going to the theater and wants your generation to go see things on a big screen.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I saw it in IMAX, but I saw it early enough to the point where this wasn't really a meme just yet. I was more kind of little kids were in my audience, and the chicken jockey scene happened, and it's not like
it just happened.
It just happened.
Interesting.
Maybe a couple laughs, but nothing like popcorn, all up in the air.
Isn't that funny? Because there wasn't. When did you see the movie?
I saw. Well, technically the night before opening.
Okay,
night,
so but there just wasn't that much buzz about it, and it really spread.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it did. I mean, like I said, this is the first movie like younger kids, I think, have for that. I mean, it's hard to explain, but it's like video game movies. They're kind of in a world of their own.
It's really interesting.
Yep.
Started in theaters on April 4th, and here we are 14 days later, which in today's movie world is like a lifetime.
Still very relevant,
but it's still really happening.
Oh, yeah.
You have seen a couple other, most of our listeners, you're probably not saying go see the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I think
it's not a good
fun.
movie,
it's
right?
fun.
But it's fun.
Right. Yep.
So what are you excited about right now?
I'm very excited. I just saw this last night. Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler. He is the Black Panther director, and this movie was awesome. It's certainly the best of the year so far, and it has a good chance to stand that way. It's Michael B. Jordan, and it's about kind of a mixture of 1930s African American culture mixed with kind of blues and music mixed with vampires. So it's kind of all over the place, but it works super well, and it was very good, and you have to see it in IMAX.
There are IMAX screens at almost every theater now, right?
No,
the ones that are still around. I mean,
AMC,
the big ones, I guess.
AMC will have them, but this was actually shot with IMAX film cameras, which is
interesting,
not common.
Yes.
So there are scenes where it will widen up the entire screen and then go back to just kind of where there's going to be black borders on the scene. So it's pretty cool to see the changing and
because a lot of them they just kind of up convert it from the normal film cameras, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to see it in IMAX to get maximum enjoyment out of it. It's intended to be
just
seen that way.
The trailer of it, looking at the trailer, it's visually just shocking.
Oh yeah, it's
beautiful.
Insane. Yeah.
Cool. What else? One other recommendation for folks.
Oh man, Mickey 17 was good. Directed by Bong Joon-ho, director of Parasite. That was with Robert Pattinson. I'm not sure it's as popular as the Minecraft movie and Sinners will be. And actually, as a coincidence, Sinners is Michael B. Jordan playing two versions of himself. He's a twin, and Robert Pattinson, it's the same thing. So we're kind of getting this theme of duplicates, which I think is interesting, and I think there's a lot of original, ideas to help navigate that kind of weird theme, like sci-fi-ish theme.
But that's Mickey 17.
Yep.
And that came out late in March. So
yep, that was So that's
good.
Yeah, that's probably another notable one, but we're looking forward to June and July when the big blockbusters come into town.
As we look ahead towards this summer, what are the blockbusters that you're excited about that, as people start planning ahead, what should they be looking for?
Yeah, definitely Fantastic Four, Jurassic World. I did mention this, I think, in one of our conversations earlier this year, but Eddington is going to be a really highly talked about movie. That's directed by Ari Aster, and that has a star-studded cast. And then
Eddington is sort of a Western theme type movie?
It takes place in COVID, so it's the first COVID movie, I think.
Do we want that? Do you want to see a COVID movie?
It's going to be weird. It's not going to be anything that anyone expects. I mean, this director, his movies, if you've seen Midsommar, Hereditary, they're very weird and very, original. So it's going to be something like we've never seen.
The teaser for this just came out this week.
Just this
right?
week. Yep.
Right. That is... Yeah, I'm curious if I think people will want to see that, but emotionally, it's going to be a little strange.
It's going to be strange.
And people are so political about COVID.
It's going to be super political for sure.
Yeah.
But Pedro Pascal, he's in that. He's in Fantastic Four, and he's in a rom-com in June. So
is he in every movie now?
Yeah, he is.
That's all he. Yeah,
and he's in Last of Us right now.
Last of Us. I know.
Yeah,
I like Last of Us.
I do too.
He's also over in Japan for the Star Wars celebration, talking about Mandalorian and Grogu, which is another movie coming out.
Yep.
He is just why not make all the money?
Yeah, he deserves it.
He's a very good actor.
Yeah, he's great.
He's not young, is he?
I bet he's like 48.
I feel like it's kind of fun to see somebody. He's 50.
Yeah.
Which for Charlie is like ancient.
Yeah. Yeah, that's approaching fossil level.
As he talks to two 50-year-olds.
Yeah, so, Dan and I are both 50.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
And I think when you look at Pedro Pascal and Dan Cook and Jason DeRusha, you could tell three 50-year-olds.
Right in line.
You're not as stunt doubles?
That's pretty good.
I have a back issue, otherwise I would.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
Do you think Pedro was in at the physical therapist this week like I was?
Nope.
I think not. Charlie Oaks, really fun to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Charlie. Charlie Oaks, the Charlie Oaks Cinematic Experience here on CCO. You going to see anything this weekend? Or you're good?
Oh, I'll be
Where
seeing
are you going
something.
for dinner? Mom is right
Edo.
here.
We're going to Edo.
You and Laura off to Edo.
Yep.
Excellent.
It's going to be great.
Good stuff. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for listening as well. Twins baseball coming up. So that'll be right here on CCO. Twins in Atlanta. They're on Apple TV. So if you're looking them for TV, you might be out of luck. But enjoy the superior product anyway, right here on CCO Radio.
The following is a presentation of Odyssey Sports.